Good afternoon. We're now joined by Cornell student athletes, A.K. Okereke and Nazir Williams, along with head coach John Jakes. We will start with some opening comments from Coach Jakes, followed by questions from the media. Please make sure to identify yourself and your media organization when asking a question. Coach Jakes, would you please make an opening statement?
Yeah, tough game. Obviously, Yale they're really hard to beat. As someone in the tournament is going to find out in a week. I thought we gave them a really good punch, though. I'm proud of the guys. We got off to a good start, and they are physical and just have a way about them to make the game the way they want to play it. And I thought our guys fought through that, and then the second half we hit our stride. And we know we can come back from deficits. We've done it before, and so I think these guys and the rest of the starters mainly, we rode those guys pretty hard, and just they carried us back into the game, just making play after play. And so proud of them. Obviously a couple plays short, but proud of the effort, clearly, and obviously wish Yale the best of luck next week.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now open up the questions for the student athletes. Questions, please. Right here.
Nathaniel Marco, College Hill Independent. First of all, much respect for a really hard-fought game and a really hard-fought season. Maybe on a slightly positive note, last night Akron won the MAC championship, sending former teammate Isaiah Gray to the big dance. Can you talk a little bit about him as a teammate, what it means that he's in that tournament?
Well, Isaiah, he represents everything Cornell represents, just a hard worker that always does the right thing. So for him to be there right now, kind of sucks he's not here with us, but I'm happy for him and, hope all the best for him in Akron.
Okay, more questions for the student athletes. Right here, Bill.
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. AK, you guys were so good offensively in both of these games. I wondered just what you're able to do against a Yale team that's usually very good defensively, to put 84 points on them and score consistently against them like you did in the two regular season games as well.
Yeah, I kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday. Obviously everyone trusts in our offense. We're consistently one of the best offenses in the country. And, just the way it works, it doesn't really matter who's guarding it. Honestly, we're always going to get good looks. And everyone trusts in the offense, and everyone stays in as well. And so, that's why it doesn't really matter who we're playing. We're probably going to have a good offensive night. Obviously, we had off nights during the season, but for the most part, we're probably good for about 80 to 90 points just because of the way it runs and more importantly, the way that everyone trusts in it and stays in it. So.
Okay, more questions for the student athletes? Do we have anything else? Okay, Bill, one more.
Nazir, just what was it like to be on the stage? Obviously, Coach in his first year played at a very high level in the school and is trying to bring Cornell to that point. What was it like to be part of his first group and to finish here?
Honestly, it was an amazing ride. Obviously, we had goals that we didn't achieve, but we still did achieve a lot this year. And, Coach Jakes being at the helm, he's a Cornell guy, won 3 rings here, coached here forever, it feels like. And I just know there's great things ahead for him. And, this is only the beginning. And there's a group of guys downstairs, a bunch of juniors, sophomores, freshmen, who are ready to step up into their role for next year and years to come. And with Coach Jakes at the head, I believe anything's possible. I feel like they're going to be on the stage a lot more and hopefully pass this.
Okay, we do have a question in the back.
Nikki Moore, not a press, but you guys achieved one next step this year than last year. What would you say helped you to sort of elevate? It's a significant step to play in this final game. What do you think helped elevate you all and the team to this level?
Yeah, I think it was really just everyone understanding that we lost a lot of very important pieces from last year, and everyone was ready. And that started from last spring, going into the summer and in the fall. We had a handful of guys who knew that they were going to have bigger roles, and they were ready for those roles, and they prepared adequately for those roles in those seasons, like I mentioned. And so I think that was definitely the most important factor. And kind of like I mentioned, just the trust that we have in one another, both individually and as a collective. And so I think that definitely played a big part.
And just to piggyback off what AK said, Coach Jakes never made it about trying to be like last year's team. Obviously, last year's team had a lot of success, but he wanted us to find our own niche this year, and that really worked for us. Definitely more disciplined this year. And, yeah, this all comes from the top-down approach.
Okay, thank you. We'll now ask the student athletes to head back to the locker room. Thank you. And we'll open it up to questions for Coach Jakes. We have a question over here.
Yeah, Coach, Poulakaitis obviously had a sluggish first half for him, 1 for 7, and he came out really hot in the second half. With him, is there anything that can be done to contain him when he gets hot like that, or is he just the type of guy that no matter what you do defensively, he's going to find his shots and make them?
Yeah, I think the whole league has been struggling with that question all year. Like any shooter, I think he goes through stretches where he misses a few, and he probably missed some shots in the first half that he normally makes. You do your best. I think Jake and Cooper and whoever else was on him did a really good job. He's a weird player. I mean that in the most complimentary way ever, because he's like tall and he's long and he shoots fadeaways and he shoots shots that he's practiced over and over again. Clearly, he must work extremely, extremely hard, because you don't guard those kind of shots normally. And so you just try to, do the best you can. You can try to deny him the ball, but they have so many other weapons that it's like you just got to make him work for it. And I thought we did that for the most part. A couple breakdowns that we probably would like to have back if we could do it again, but he's a really good player, and they set him up so nicely too with the other guys they have.
More questions for Coach? A question over here. Hold on one sec. We'll get the microphone for you. That's all right.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations on your season. Andre Stark, Bay State banner. How has the game changed since you were a player? And what kind of mindset did you take from when you played to instill upon your players now?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think just everyone is playing faster, shooting more threes, obviously. I think that's something that's fun, and which obviously we do, I think, at a pretty high level. But I think the way I played was in my teams, when that stretch had a nice run, we were playing similarly to people play now, like a little before our time, like shooting a lot of threes and cutting and playing with each other, and more of how you see people playing now. So yeah, it's natural to me. It's meshed with how we've played the last few years too. So like these guys said, just keep growing it, keep evolving it, and figure out what makes the most sense for our guys. But like the values that I played with my teammates and that these guys have played with for a few years, they're pretty similar. Just like you play hard and you play for each other, be good teammates, and usually good things happen.
More questions, Bill, right up front.
John, just leaving styles aside, you've been part of a group that's been atop this league for multiple years as a player. Yale as a program right now is going to go to their fifth NCAA tournament in a decade. Just from a mental perspective and day to day, what does it take to stay atop this league for an extended stretch like you did as a player and like they are right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a credit to Coach Jones, obviously, and the whole coaching staff they have. I mean, they do a great job just instilling confidence, but not you're confident but not complacent. They clearly are hungry. Whatever group they have, it seems like they lose borderline NBA guys every year, and the next guy is ready to fill the role. Which, like I said, it's a credit to the staff and the players they have. So yeah, it's really hard to sustain. They are unselfish, good teammates too, like we are, and that's a huge part of it. Like no matter what the group is, the culture of the team is to find the best way to do it and not care how it gets done. So I think they just have a confidence and swagger to them. They know their culture, and yeah, it's a huge credit to the whole program. Yeah.
See, we have a question over here.
Steve Silverman, Ivy Hoops Online. Coach, going back to the style of play question, when you took over this position, the big question everybody had for you right away is, are you going to play the same up-tempo style? And you said you would, and you did, and I think part of the reason you said that about going back to the fall and summer was that, wasn't necessarily a good time to make a change like that you had players coming back that knew that system, and it worked great this year. And I'm just wondering, have you given any consideration? I know it's, already just the end of this season right now, perhaps, but do you think you're going to retain that style? Does it depend on who you bring in as new players, or are you pretty much committed to continuing this up-tempo style of play?
Yeah, I mean, I like playing this way. I'll say that. Every year is different, obviously, and we lose some guys, like you mentioned, who've had a lot of success for 4 years. Won a lot of games, but we return a lot of guys who have had success too. So I do like playing with this pace, and the way we do it, it's like smart, fast, and that's what we say. And like, you try to make the right play at all times. And most people who play this fast, it's harder for them to make the right decision, to make the right play at the pace that we play at. And so if we can keep doing that, then I would say, yeah, it's a good chance we'll keep playing fast. If we can keep being, pushing tempo and playing with pace, but also making good decisions. And like you said, that's about personnel and, if you have the right guys, I think we do. Like I'm really confident in the returning guys we have. And like this year, there'll be some new ones and we'll figure out what works for the group. But yeah, it's fun to play this way. It makes us different. Hard to prepare for, and I think the guys have fun.
Okay, we have one last question.
Yeah, Don Memoriam from the Hartford Current. Coach, can you speak to the game that Guy had today? Obviously, he was a big part of that surge, and also speak to the season and the career he's had at Cornell.
Yeah. Guy is, he kind of blends in. I think a lot of people look at Nas and AK and Cooper. I mean, those are all league guys. Guy, in my opinion, I don't know if I can say I should have been as well, but it's neither here nor there. He's a really good player. He's talented, and unselfish. And so he's yesterday he was passing. Today he was scoring. He's a matchup nightmare, especially when he's aggressive like that. In his career, yeah, I mean he's come such a long way, both as a player and a person. Just like confidence level. Very proud of him. Like we just talked in the locker room, like recruited him and Nas during COVID. They never saw campus, came committed, like just, I don't know, like why they did, but they did. They trusted us, and obviously just forever grateful for Guy, but the whole senior class. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all. Appreciate it.